Good morning. Welcome to the Community for Conscious Living weekly live broadcast. Today is Sunday, November 14th of 2021. The Community for Conscious Living is a community dedicated to personal transformation for universal harmony, healing the planet by making inspired changes in ourselves and in our daily lives to create a sustainable environment and a peaceful world. Thank you for bringing your beautiful, bright self to this circle today and helping us to create a sustainable environment, a peaceful world, a bright space, a bright, pure, clean, shining, vibrant space for our circle today, for our virtual time together. Well, it's not virtual time together. Let me correct that. For our time together in this virtual space. There, that's better. I was saying before the recording started that, I always comment on the weather and the beautiful day and how gorgeous it is before I start the recording and when I'm talking to the people who are present here before the recording starts. And it just... I will say it is a palpable feeling today of the beautiful bright light that is present in our space. And I want to thank everyone who shows up live for these calls because it is your light that brightens this space. And even if you're not feeling your most beautiful, vibrant self today, I know beyond the shadow of a doubt that at the depths of your being in your heart is the brightest light that exists in the entire universe. And that light shows up with you no matter how you're feeling or looking on the outside of yourself, on your outer layers, or how you're showing up. That bright light is still in there. And so I invite you to know that for yourself. And know that, hey, here I am in all of my reality today, if it happens to be the super vibrant and healthy and spunky and, whatever it may be, or if it happens to be the little dim and funky. That's okay. That bright light is still there inside of you. And I think we can help to make the world a better place by remembering that for ourselves and also remembering that for the people who show up in front of us and around us, that no matter how they're showing up or what's appearing on their outer, that bright light is still on the inner. And with our abilities and our insights, we can set our intention and focus to look beyond whatever is on the outer and look to the light on the inner, because energy flows where attention goes. So if we choose to see beyond the outer layers of whatever or whoever shows up in front of us, and we choose to look deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper until we reach that bright light, and just make that intention and call on your source and ask for help. Help me to see your light and your life force that is appearing before me through this being, because without that light and that life force, the body dies and decays and returns to the earth. So it is that light and that life force that is showing up in front of you. So ask for help to see it in everything and everybody that comes in front of you, and witness that. Witness the light. Witness the life force of source that is living and breathing through every being around you. And when we can witness that and let the energy flow where that attention is directed, right? We direct our attention there, and that is where the energy flows, and that's what is reflected back to us. That's what fills the space. That's what is in the whole world around us. And we can choose to increase that vibration and witness more and more of that reflection by focusing our energy there. So let's do that. How about it? Sounds like a wonderful plan to me. So, on to our topic for today. Let's all take a deep breath and come into our circle. Our topic for today is about world hunger and world peace. This is a continuation of the series. We're on question 4 out of 37 from the book that was downloaded earlier this year. And the book is called The Answer is Love, Questions to Explore as we transition into an era of peace. And today is about world hunger and world peace. Is there really enough? And the question as it was downloaded, I'll read it to you. After we do our intro meditation, I'm going to read the response that came through. The question says specifically, is it possible to end world hunger? Can the planet support all of the population? It's been a big question that's come up for a lot of people. Are we overpopulated? Is there so much starvation and deprivation of resources, or that are causing our mass extinctions because there are too many people? I hear people say that all the time. Well, we just need to reduce the world population and everything will be fine. I'm going to just say for myself before I get into the reading, I don't believe that's true, because there are always those people who will be greedy and want more than enough for themselves, and they are willing to risk deprivation of and harm to others so that they can have more. And that reminds me of something I read just this morning, and I'm going to share that with you as we come into our prayer and healing circle. Yeah, let's go ahead and come into our prayer and healing circle, and then I'll share that. It's a quote from Gandhi, and I'll share that with you in a minute. So let's go ahead and come into our circle, sitting side by side, shoulder to shoulder, elbow to elbow, knee to knee, coming together as one. And together let's call on our source in the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate. We call on you. We ask you to send your essence of your pure divine light. And just imagine, feel, perceive in whatever way you do this pure divine light streaming into the center of our circle, filling the entire circle with pure divine light, and pure divine light that is purifying the space. And as that light infuses into our virtual space, cleansing, purifying the space, we come together in this space and we're bringing ourselves. So allow yourself to be here in the presence of this pure divine light, and let yourself be met by this pure divine light, this purifying divine light, and allow this purifying divine light to touch your body, to touch your skin, and to absorb into your pores. And as it comes in, let it be a cleansing, purifying light. We carry consciousness in every cell of our beings. And every cell of our beings has a knowing of that pure divine light that is the truth of your existence. That is what lives and breathes and expresses through your physical being, that gives you life force and gives you consciousness and gives you light. And as we develop a human ego and learn what it means to survive on planet Earth, we all have those things that cover over that light that separate us from our true selves, at least give us the perception of separation from our true selves. But we're never separate. And so let that light be a purifier for those things that separate us from the knowing and the conscious unity with our true selves. So this pure divine light streaming into our circle. Let this light meet your skin and meet your senses, your sensory organs, your eyes, your ears, your nose, your mouth, and let yourself take this light in. Invite this light into your body to cleanse and purify from your cellular consciousness all of the perceptions and memories and programming, templating that is separating you from your conscious unity with your true divine self. Let's let those things be purified by this light as you breathe this light in, and breathe it in through your skin, breathe it in through your organs, breathe it in through your lungs and through your heart, and let this light come into your body. Let it infuse into your blood and into your bloodstream. Let it deliver this divine nutrient of pure light to every cell of your body. And as every cell of your body, invite every cell to receive this light. And as your cells receive this light, invite them to allow the cleansing, healing effects the light can have on your consciousness to cleanse that which separates you and return you to your truth. Your true essence as a being of light. And breathe that light in. Let it cleanse and purify. Your blood is 92% water. As this vibration of the existence, the energy, everything is energy. Energy has vibration. Every energy has a unique vibration. So the energy of pure divine light has a unique vibration. Take this energy in, breathe it in through your heart. Let it cleanse and purify your blood. Let it raise your vibration to this vibration of pure divine light. And as that circulates and delivers this nutrient to every cell of your body, let it lift your entire vibration to the vibration of pure divine light, embodied and grounded in your physical body, in your physical being, and in your physical space. Take a full breath, breathe that all the way into your core. And as you exhale, drop down and land into your hips, into your pelvic bowl. And bring your heart center to face into the center of our circle. And together, let's call on our source. In the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate, we call on you. We ask you to send your vibration of your unconditional love. And this essence, the existence of unconditional love, the energy of it that appears in this vibration and comes into our virtual space, into our circle, into our community. Bringing this vibration of unconditional love along with the vibration of the pure divine light. And let yourself feel the presence as this vibration enters your space. Feel the presence of unconditional love. It's streaming right in before you, surrounding you, enveloping you in unconditional love. And unconditional love means for all of those places where we've ever told ourselves that we have to fix something before we can have love in our lives, before we have to change something, before we can be worthy of love or receive love, or before love would even look our way. Any of those places, invite them to be surrounded by unconditional love, because love is love is love. Love is a vibration. It is an existence. And it doesn't care about the conditions that you believe in. It does not have conditions. It is not conditional. It is unconditional. Unconditional love loves everything no matter what. So all of those places in you that have felt like they had to be fixed or changed before they could be worthy of love or able to receive love, able to live in love or have love. Let all of those places be surrounded and held by the vibration, the truth of unconditional love. And breathe that in. Let the funnel of energy that extends from the front of your heart space, let it face directly into this stream of pure divine light and unconditional love. Let it tip up slightly and catch that stream. And as you inhale through this funnel, through your heart center, and all the way into the core of your body, letting this pure divine light and unconditional love flow through your heart. And as you exhale, just let any of the tension or the clutter or the questioning or anything else, the blocks, the barriers, let that release with your out breath as you exhale. And inhale in that vibration of pure divine light and unconditional love. Inhale that all the way into the core of your body. And as you exhale, let your heart be softened and release any of the blocks and the barriers. As the poet Rumi says, your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. So as we allow this divine light and unconditional love to flow through the heart center, let it be like the waves of the ocean rolling onto the shore. And as those waves move back out as you exhale, let that current draw out those blocks and barriers and leave you with a clear pathway to the flow of love. Leave your heart to be a clear pathway to the flow of love. And one more time, as we face the center of our circle and call on our source, we do it consistently and continually throughout our time together, of course. But we ask for one more thing, and that is, in the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate, we call on you. We ask you to send your vibration of eternal compassion. And just feel this vibration of compassion flowing into our space. This is the eternal compassion that contains the entirety of existence. It is, in the Sufi teachings, the first emanation from a solo, single God consciousness, the beginning of creation. It is known as the womb of creation. And the name of eternal compassion, Rahman, comes from the same root as the womb of a woman or of a female of a species that brings life onto the planet. That life which carries the life force and the light of the divine into a manifestation on the planet. Rahman, the eternal compassion. The compassion that is the womb that contains the entirety of our existence. And feel yourself held in this womb of compassion. Compassion is the key to love, the key to returning to love in the places where we have separated from another or distanced ourselves. Compassion is the key to bringing us back together, bringing us back to love, bringing us back to connection, to unity, to oneness. Compassion is the bridge between the worlds in the creation and in the returning from separation back to oneness. So let yourself be held and enveloped in that eternal compassion. And allow yourself to rest into this compassion. Let it hold you like a womb, like a warm embrace, like loving arms that can hold you in complete and total acceptance, complete and total love. Breathe that all the way into your core. And as you exhale, drop down and land into your hips. And as you breathe this in throughout this meditation, breathing in this light and love and compassion, allow yourself to lean back into the vertical core of your body. And that means that core as you are standing upright vertically that runs through the top of your head and all the way through your body, along the front of your spine, through your hips and through your base. Lean back into that and let yourself be like standing in a gentle waterfall, being gently showered with divine light, unconditional love, and eternal compassion, and allow yourself to be like a sponge and absorb every bit of this water. It is infinite. You are not depriving another by absorbing all that comes your way. And let it become you and you become it. Become one with this water of pure divine light, unconditional love, and eternal compassion. Your body is 75-ish% water. So let that water be your water and be the divine light, the unconditional love, and the eternal compassion. And I know that sometimes we are faced with many challenges in this world and on our planet. The more that we can do this and carry this and be this in the world, the more it helps to lift the vibration and shift the vibration of the planet and the collective consciousness on the planet. And we are moving into that era of peace. So the more we can do this now, the easier it is as we move through this time of transition, which is here. We are in it. So let's do the work that we can do to lift that vibration and shift our own beings. It's okay to do it before the planet completes its shift, because there are a lot of, if we're not doing the work, we're going to be in resistance to the change. But if we're doing the work, we are leading the way and opening to be the change we wish to see in the world. And we can help others through the transition. We can help others whether we're actively helping by some act or just being and helping to lift the frequency and being the example of how to live in an era of peace, because so much on our planet will shift and change. There's a lot of things that are existent on our day-to-day that cannot live in an era of peace, where the world is about the eternal compassion and the unconditional love. The light is stronger. The vibrations, the frequencies are higher. We can't have the let me rephrase it. We can't have the level of disharmony and the acts that create the levels of disharmony and the systems that perpetuate the levels of disharmony. They can't go with us into this era of peace. As they are, they have to shift, and many of them will crumble. And we'll be okay, right? Because there is a way to live in love and compassion where there is love and care for all. Remember, we are one body. We are one body, and this one body has been getting sicker and sicker, and the one body is saying, no more. I am not going to be sick anymore. I am going to correct my body. I'm going to heal my body. I'm going to come into homeostasis so that my body can heal and we can thrive. So as all parts, all cells of one body, we know that when one cell type or one body part is sick, we can't ignore it and expect the entire body to be healed and whole. So we are shifting, and everything in this existence is shifting, and it's a beautiful thing. Okay, now let me get to, take a breath with that and breathe that in. Breathe in that light and love and compassion. And I'm going to read the question and the response from the book. And then we'll do a little healing, personal healing with that, and some prayers for healing for the planet. The question is it possible to end world hunger? Can the planet support all of the population? The response, and again, I read it to you just as it came through. I created the planet with more than enough for everyone. There is enough. Stop the greed. The system that thrives on greed is crumbling. Humans do not own the earth. It was created to provide for all of creation, not to be bought and sold, to be hoarded by the greedy, to be used for profit and destroyed by those who seek to dominate and control. The people cannot control what God has created. God's creation, the natural existence and its harmonious rhythms will prevail. The system of greed will crumble. God provides for the needy where humanity fails itself. Just like the human body will do what it needs to balance itself and create homeostasis, so will God's creation. This is my body. My body will correct itself through homeostasis for balance, health, sustainability, and survival. Diseases of the heart, liver, lungs, all cancers, all are warnings. These are all warnings against poor diet and lifestyle. Pandemics are warnings against the mistreatment of animals and the earth, against inequality and injustice. The warnings have been sent. All signs are there. Heed the warnings. Read the signs. I'm going to interject a piece here because I know that not all disease, and this comes in a later question in the book, not all disease is because you're doing something wrong individually. Okay? There are many reasons for disease, and a lot of the diseases that we have are because of we could be living in better harmony with the earth, and we need to heed those warnings. But I just want to say, in case you're suffering with something, that this is not saying you're bad and you're doing something wrong. I just wanted to put that in there. So be gentle with your heart. This is really speaking to the global scale and the collective of humanity. And individually, we can make changes in our lives that will help to shift and change the way we live individually, and also perpetuate that change into the systems and the collective of humanity. And that's what we really need to do. Okay, so back to the reading. The warnings have been sent. All signs are there. Heed the warnings. Read the signs. My body is returning to itself. This is my healing journey, and I will no longer allow sickness to overtake my body. I am returning. The planet is returning. The people can also return. It is up to you. The only return is through love. Can you know love when you hoard and waste resources while others around you go hungry? No, you cannot. Those who do not heed my warnings, the signs of my body, will be thrown off. This is how the body heals itself. That which creates sickness must be thrown off or corrected so that the body can repair itself and return to its wholeness, its original nature, the rhythms of natural existence. Only love can do that and affect all systems at once. It is what you are, unconditional love. Return to yourself. Know yourself. Be yourself. So take a deep breath with that. Let that ruminate and resonate in your consciousness. Let it land where it may. Breathe in that light and love and compassion. And let this move for you. I want to say a few words about the work that I am doing and have been doing with the Climate Healers group. The work that they do, let me say, that I partake in and contribute to. There is enough. Just on speaking from the material plane, there is enough. It is the systems that are based and founded on greed and dominance and control and hoarding that are harming the earth, that are sucking up the earth's resources, that are funneling wealth to the very few and leaving large majorities of people in extreme poverty and hunger. If we were to allow the earth to be in more of a natural form, and in other words, stop burning the fields and clearing the pastures and the things that we do to grow food, especially food for livestock, because a majority of our food is grown for livestock and then for grazing land for livestock. If we were to reforest those areas, that would draw down the carbons, enough of the carbons to reverse the global warming and have a huge impact on our future, a huge impact on our trajectories with species extinction, including our own species. And if we changed the way that we use the land, we could still have enough land to grow enough food, all natural fruits, vegetables, grains, and nuts and seeds for the people to be well nourished and survive and thrive. There is enough. The planet was created with enough, as it says here in this reading, and as the science also shows, there is enough. So, there are a couple of questions to address for our circle today. The first one, is there enough of food and resources to sustain everyone on the planet? And I think we just talked about that. Yes, there is enough. Yes, there is enough. And yes, we can. We can make that transition. I know a lot of people's livelihood depend on farming there and on livestock. There is transitioning that is happening now. And let's offer up a prayer for divine guidance, the divine hand, to be firmly accepted into that transition that is happening on our planet, to transition away from the methods and the practices that are not sustainable, from the methods and the practices that harm the earth, from the methods and the practices that harm the animals, that pollute the water and the air and the soil, and all of the things that we have done that are hurting the earth and not producing more in as much as they are creating circumstances that increase poverty in the long run. So let's just make a prayer. Let's just hold that in the center of our circle. And let's hold that whole system of animal agriculture, the whole system of the unsustainable farming practices, the whole system that of land use. Let's just call it the system of land use. Let's hold all of those, the energy, the vibration, the consciousness of those systems in the center of our circle, right where this divine light, unconditional love, and eternal compassion are streaming in. And let these systems be held under that gentle waterfall and that stream of pure divine light, unconditional love, and eternal compassion. And let's be here to hold that space and reflect that light as it infuses into those systems. And take a moment and speak directly with your source from your heart and ask for healing. Ask for healing. Ask for the wisdom of the divine hand to enter into these systems and to help us to transition as quickly and effectively as possible while caring for the health and well-being of all involved and for the financial caring for the people who would. There are a lot of people who could transition and not have financial suffering. There are some whose livelihoods are very much dependent and who would need to transition that along with this transition. So for all involved and all affected, we ask for the hand of the divine wisdom to come in and to orchestrate a shift as quickly and efficiently as possible, to move us into a sustainable environment and a peaceful world where there is enough and more than enough for everyone. And just imagine this vibration, this stream of pure divine light, unconditional love, eternal compassion, and whatever other healing properties are divine in its wisdom wants to bring in to heal this situation, to return it to a healthy and sustainable way of being. And just notice for yourself if anything comes up that wants to shift in you as well, because everything is reflected in everything else at some level. So we hold the light, the love, the compassion. We reflect that into these systems and into these energies. And we also allow the parts of ourselves that have been templated and integrated with these systems and these energies, as we all have been, because this is where we live. It's the soup we swim in. So all of the places inside of ourselves that have been templated and integrated into this way of life, the parts of ourself that need to shift, let that light come into you, the light, the love, and compassion, and shift those places in your psyche and in your energetic template so that you can begin to shift into this new era of peace where these systems cannot exist as they are. Let yourself shift now, and your mental body and your knowing body and your instinctual body will witness this shift and adjust with you. The true role of the mind is not to lead the way with what it thinks it knows, but it is to be in service to the wisdom of the heart and the body. And the wisdom of the heart and the body are those innate wisdoms and spiritual wisdoms that were breathed into you when life force was given to your physical body. So trust in that process. Allow yourself, your knowing, your inner knowing, your instinct, your vibrations, allow them to shift and allow your mind, your mental body, to be a witness and to respond with reverence, respect, and in service to the shift that is happening within you. So we shift along with the planetary systems and the global systems that are shifting. And we transition now into the era of peace. For a sustainable environment and a peaceful world. Take a deep breath, receive, and as you exhale, let it drop down into your hips, let it land. And this gets into the second question: what attitudes and behaviors does our humanity need to shift in order for everyone to have enough? We mentioned our food system, that's a huge one. The financial system is a huge one. The justice system is a huge one. There are a lot of huge ones. Our medical and wellness systems, they're all huge parts of what need to shift. And just trust in the wisdom. And just notice if there's anything that's coming up for inside of yourself, like from inside of yourself, like, oh my gosh, how can this change and we still exist? Right? Just offer that question and offer that part of you that says, oh my gosh. Just offer that into the center of the circle and let it be infused with His pure divine light, unconditional love, and eternal compassion. And just witness what wants to shift. Allow that light and love and compassion to come into those places in your body that are being evacuated as these energies are offered into the center of the circle. Let that light and love and compassion come in and transform those places inside of you. They will give you the knowing. They will give you the knowledge. They will give you the innate, instinctual responses from within yourself. So let that light and love and compassion come in. Let it impart the wisdom into your cellular knowing and invite your mental body and your emotional body to align with the knowing that is coming in as your vibration is shifting, as your template is clearing out the old information that can't go with you into the era of peace, and returning you to a divine, harmonious existence, a divine truth. Breathing in that divine light, unconditional love, and eternal compassion. And again, breathe in. And as you breathe in, lengthen and upright your spine. Lean your consciousness back into your body. Like you're leaning against the front of your spine. And as you exhale, drop down, land into your pelvic bowl, and be. Kun fayakun, be, and it is. And in terms of the global situation, mirroring something inside of ourselves, what do we need to shift internally to align with enoughness? Enoughness and world peace. In a world of peace, there is enough for everyone. Our world that we have been living in has a strong vibration of lack. And it's been a while since I've spoken about this, but when I hear all of these things about abundance, like we need to seek abundance and blah, 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 abundance. To me, abundance is the flip side of the coin of lack. what we truly need to seek is sufficiency, and to trust in sufficiency, that we were brought here, and along with us everything that we need in order to survive and sustain ourselves and even thrive in a spiritual way, but also to care for ourselves with what we need. Everything is here in the amounts, the right amounts that you need to sustain yourself and fulfill what you've come here to fulfill, and be who you've come here to become and to be, discover what you've come here to discover. And when you're on point with this, this is when you will be the happiest. This is when you will be the most fulfilled. This is when you will really feel thriving. It's not necessarily to seek someone else's definition of abundance that doesn't resonate with the core of your being. So what is that definition that resonates with the core of your being? I call this not someone else's picture of abundance, but sufficiency. You have enough. You have exactly enough for what you've come here for, that will give you the ultimate fulfillment for your body, mind, heart, soul, and spirit. And you are enough. And part of recognizing that you have enough is recognizing that you are enough. So let's take a moment with the energies of sufficiency. And we might as well call them all in and just ask for that light to be shined upon within yourself. The vibrations of lack, the vibrations of abundance or need for abundance, which I guess it's not so much abundance as need for abundance, right? When we're seeking abundance, it's because we feel we don't have enough. We feel we are in lack. So both of those flip sides, let the light shine on those places. And let's call on the energy, the vibration of sufficiency. And let that vibration of sufficiency, as the light shines on and cleanses and purifies the vibrations, the templating, the energies of lack and striving for abundance. Just allow the vibration of sufficiency to replace those spaces in you, replace those energies in the spaces within you, in your heart, in your body, in your mind, in your soul, in your spirit, in your knowing. Just let those lack and seeking abundance from a place of lack, let those be cleansed, and call on the vibration of sufficiency. When we rest into the sufficiency, there is a very healing level of trust that comes with that. When we rest in that sufficiency, and we let the trust in sufficiency fill our bodies and our hearts and our minds and our souls, we can come into a place of rest, come into a place of peace, come into a place of strength, a solid knowing inside of ourselves. And ironically, when we are in that centered and grounded and strong and trusting place inside of ourselves, it opens us to receive more. It also opens us to give more. It opens us to be in the flow, the fullness of the flow of receiving and of giving. It's a beautiful rhythm that we can integrate into, that is lined with trust. So let the vibrations, the energies, the knowing of sufficiency penetrate into your cells. When you have enough, and you are enough, you can do that much more to help others. And to help yourself. So breathe that in, receive, and let it land. Now, I promised you a reading this is from the book called Legacy of Love, My Education in the Path of Nonviolence by Arun Gandhi, who is the grandson of Mahatma Gandhi. And in this chapter, he's telling a story, and he's speaking of the lessons that his grandfather wanted to teach him through this story. I'm just going to read the lessons. The 3 lessons are: never kill or harm another creature. Number 2, never be so arrogant as to act without looking ahead. And number 3, honor, love, and care for your children and parents, because everything you give to them will be given to you in return. And I will extend that to honor, love, and care for your neighbors, your brothers and sisters, to everyone around you, as we are all one, all cells of one body. And what we do to all, or to any, we do to ourselves. What we do to all or any, we do to ourselves. So let's be the light, the love, the compassion we wish to see in the world. Let's live in the era of peace now. Continue to do the work to shift what we need to do to bring ourselves out of this template that we have existed in, and the template of the soup we've been swimming in, so that we can begin to shift the collective consciousness by being the change, and live in a way that supports and perpetuates systems that can exist in an era of unconditional love and peace. Take a deep breath, receive that in, and let it land. And with that, I'm going to end the recording and open for the Q&A. If you're listening to the recording, I invite you to join us live on Sundays at 10 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. U.S. Pacific Time. For information for joining the call, go to joyfullylivingwellness.com, joyfullylivingwellness.com, or communityforconsciousliving.com. Also gets you to the same place, communityforconsciousliving.com. And while you're there, pick up your copy, The 10 Spiritual Principles of Our Human Existence. It's a one sheet that reminds you of the truth of who we are and what we are and why we're here. You can print out multiple copies, post it around, carry it in your car to remind yourself constantly that you are here to be the light, the love, the compassion in the world, and really, honestly, truly, to know yourself with love, unconditional love, and compassion. And to be, that is what really brings you to be the light that you're here to be. Now, this download also comes with a 15-minute guided meditation that is similar to what we do at the beginning of the meditation and healing circle. It's a 15-minute practice that you can incorporate into your daily practice to help you to remain in that flow with light, with love, with compassion. And remember, you can always come back to this recording to help you to get into that flow of sufficiency and trust, the flow of the giving and the receiving, to eradicate the greed and the domination and the control that have been, and I'm sorry to bring those words in again, but to eradicate them so that we can live in sustainability, sufficiency, enoughness for all that will bring about world peace in the era of peace and unconditional love. All right, and with that, I end the recording and open for the Q&A. I thank you very much.